Hello and welcome to Harmony Hall, a sacred space for all. As we gather in peace, we will grow in our beliefs and let our spirits breathe. As we gently explore the many faiths and religions that shape our spiritual world, Harmony Hall is a place of respect, reflection, and spiritual curiosity. Today around the campfire we journey back to ancient Mesopotamia to explore one of humanity's oldest flood stories, the Atrahasis epic, the Babylonian flood story. Here, where gods once shaped mankind from clay, the Babylonians sought to explain the balance between creation and destruction, between divine will and human life. This ancient story reveals how mercy, obedience, and survival were woven into the earliest questions of existence. A tale of gods angered by noise and rebellion, of a single man chosen to preserve life through the coming flood, and of the covenant that followed between gods and humankind. So come with me today, as we listen to the echoes of the flood that still whisper through time, reminding us how humanity's search for meaning has always risen even after the waters fell. Thank you for being here today, and for choosing Harmony Hall to help you on your spiritual walk to self-discovery. Deep in ancient Mesopotamia, a story was pressed into clay, the Atrahasis epic. This Babylonian tale, older than the Bible's flood story, explores creation, the gods, and a catastrophic deluge. Atrahasis, whose name means exceedingly wise, is the hero who faces the wrath of the gods. Written in Akkadian cuneiform, these tablets survived millennia, buried beneath ruined cities. Rediscovered in the modern era, the epic reshaped our understanding of ancient myth and religion. Its flood narrative predates Noah's Ark and Gilgamesh, offering a unique perspective on why the gods sent destruction. The story reveals a civilization grappling with divine power, human suffering, and the search for meaning. The Atrahasis epic is not just a relic, it's a living testament to humanity's oldest questions. Through Atrahasis, we glimpse the roots of storytelling and the enduring human spirit. The Atrahasis epic wasn't found whole, but pieced together from clay fragments across the Middle East. The most complete versions date to the Old Babylonian period, around 1700 BCE, far older than Homer or the Old Testament. Scribes like Ipik Aya, working in cities like Sippar and Nippur, preserved the story in Akkadian cuneiform. Many tablets survived only because fires baked the clay, turning them to pottery. The story itself is likely even older, passed down orally from Sumerian times. The written version captures a moment in Babylonian history, a world of growing cities, strict hierarchies, and complex gods. The epic's focus on labor, rebellion, and population reflects the concerns of its era. Atrahasis is both myth and a mirror of the ancient world. In the Atrahasis epic, the gods are powerful but deeply flawed, their personalities marked by pride, jealousy, and fear. Unlike the serene, all-knowing deities of later traditions, these gods are unpredictable and often at odds with one another, their actions driven by emotion as much as by cosmic order. The divine world is divided into realms. Anu, the father of the gods, rules the sky. Enlil, the storm god, commands the earth. And Enki, the clever god of wisdom, presides over the waters below. Each god holds immense power, but their domains are not always harmonious. Beneath them, the junior gods, known as the Igigi, are forced into relentless labor. For countless centuries, they dig rivers and canals, shaping the land to the will of their superiors. Their toil is endless, their exhaustion mounting with each passing era. Eventually, the Igigi can bear it no longer. In a desperate act of rebellion, they burn their tools and march together surrounding Enlil's great temple. Their voices rise in protest, demanding an end to their suffering and a new way forward. The divine world is thrown into chaos. The rebellion of the Igigi shakes the very foundations of the heavens and the earth, threatening the order the gods have tried to maintain. Enlil, both furious and afraid, calls an emergency council with Anu and Enki. The gods gather in tense debate, their tempers flaring as they search for a solution to the crisis that now threatens their rule. The Igigi's complaint is simple and direct. Their labor is unbearable, their existence reduced to endless servitude. They plead for mercy, for relief from their backbreaking work. Instead of punishing the rebels, Enki, ever the innovator, proposes a radical solution. He suggests creating a new being, humans, who will take over the burdensome labor, freeing the Igigi from their endless toil. Thus, humanity is conceived, not out of love or divine favor but as a workforce, a living tool designed to serve the needs of the gods. Our origin in this myth is rooted in conflict and necessity. This fateful decision sets the stage for everything that follows in Mesopotamian myth and history. The relationship between gods and humans is forever shaped by this act of creation born from strife. The gods' internal strife, their inability to cooperate peacefully, gives birth to humankind, a solution to a divine labor crisis, but also a new source of tension and complexity in the world. In this ancient story, humans are not the center of creation, but a byproduct of divine conflict and compromise. Our existence is a testament to the gods' imperfections and their struggles with one another. The flaws and quarrels of the gods shape the fate of the world, echoing through every generation of humanity that follows. And so, the story of humanity begins, not as a grand design, but as the unintended consequence of divine discord, forever entwined with the struggles of the gods themselves. In the shadowy dawn of time, the gods of Mesopotamia faced a dilemma. Their world was rich and fertile, but it demanded constant labor, work that even divine beings grew weary of. Enki, the clever god of wisdom and water, and the mother goddess Nintu, known for her compassion and creativity, decided to intervene. Together, they set out to create a new being, one that could shoulder the burdens of the gods and bring order to the world through a grim and powerful ritual. To give life to this new creation, a god named Waila was chosen for sacrifice. His blood and flesh, mixed with the sacred clay of the earth, became the raw material for humanity. This act was both a gift and a curse, infusing mortals with a spark of the divine but also binding them to a fate of toil and mortality. With great care, Nintu shaped 14 figures, 7 men and 7 women, each one a blend of divine spirit and earthly matter. These first humans were fragile yet full of potential, destined to multiply and fill the land. Humans were born to bear the gods' burdens, to labor in the fields, build temples, and provide offerings. Their existence was meant to ease the endless work of the gods, allowing the divine to rest and enjoy the fruits of creation. The Agigi, the lesser gods who had once toiled endlessly, were finally freed from their labors. For a time, peace and balance returned to the heavens, and the gods could finally rest. But as generations passed, humans multiplied rapidly, spreading across the land. Their voices, laughter, and daily struggles filled the world with noise and activity, transforming the once quiet earth into a place of constant motion. Their success, however, soon became a problem. The clamor of humanity disturbed Enlil, the great lord of the air, who valued peace and order above all else. The very solution to the gods' labor crisis now threatened to spiral out of control. The world was changing, and the gods' creation was no longer as manageable as they had hoped. The epic's creation story is both wondrous and unsettling, a tale of divine ingenuity, sacrifice, and unintended consequences. Humanity's purpose was servitude, but their vitality, ambition, and restlessness would soon test the patience and plans of the gods themselves. The seeds of conflict were sown from the very beginning, as the destinies of gods and mortals became forever intertwined. The next crisis was inevitable, for in the world of gods and men, peace is always fragile, and change is never far away. The gods' new problem? Humanity was too noisy. Enlil, unable to sleep, decided drastic action was needed. His first move, unleash a plague to thin the population. Atrahasis, wise and devout, prayed to Enki for help. Enki, sympathetic to his creation, secretly advised Atrahasis to appease the god of pestilence, Namtar. The people built a temple for Namtar, and the plague lifted. Enlil's plan failed, so he tried again, this time a drought and famine. Once more, Atrahasis turned to Enki, who instructed the people to honor Adad, the rain god. The rains returned and famine ended. Twice, Enki's cunning saved humanity from Enlil's wrath. But Enlil's patience was gone. He resolved to end the noise and humanity, once and for all. The stage was set for a flood. Atrahasis, exceedingly wise, was more than a king, he was humanity's lifeline. When Enlil plotted a final secret flood, Enki found a loophole. Forbidden to warn Atrahasis directly, Enki spoke to the wall of his reed hut, knowing Atrahasis would overhear. "Dismantle your house, build a boat, spurn property, save life," Enki instructed. Atrahasis obeyed, building a massive waterproof ark. He told his people he was leaving for Enki's domain, and they helped him construct the vessel. Atrahasis loaded his family, craftsmen, and animals aboard, preparing for the coming storm. Through wisdom and divine guidance, he became the savior of humankind. The flood was imminent. Humanity's fate rested on one man's ability to listen. The flood struck with terrifying force. Storms raged, the earth split, and waters rose from the abyss. Even the gods, witnessing the destruction, were horrified and wept for humanity. Nintu, the mother goddess, mourned her lost children as the world was drowned. For 7 days and nights, Atrahasis and his companions endured the chaos inside the ark. When the storm ceased, all that remained was a vast, empty sea. Atrahasis released birds to search for land. When the raven did not return, he knew the waters had receded. The ark came to rest on a mountain. Humanity had survived, but the world was forever changed. The silence after the storm was profound, a new beginning, born from devastation. The gods' regret echoed over the empty earth. Atrahasis emerged into a world washed clean. In the silence that followed the Great Flood, Atrahasis emerged as the lone survivor of humanity. His first act, heavy with gratitude and sorrow, was to offer a solemn sacrifice to the gods, hoping to appease their wrath and seek their favor for the future. The scent of burning offerings drifted upward, curling through the air and reaching the heavens. The gods, weakened and famished after being deprived of worship and sustenance during the flood, were drawn irresistibly to the aroma. Their hunger reminded them of the bond they shared with humanity. Yet not all the gods were pleased. Enlil, the storm god who had unleashed the flood, was furious that any mortals had survived. He accused the other gods of undermining his authority and betraying the divine plan. Enki, the wise and compassionate god, stood his ground. He argued that total destruction was too harsh a punishment, and that mercy was needed for the world to continue. The gods debated fiercely, weighing justice against compassion. In the end, the gods realized that they depended on humans for offerings and praise, but they also feared the chaos of unchecked human growth. A delicate balance was needed. Humans must exist but not overwhelm the world. So, a new compromise was forged. The gods swore never to send another flood to wipe out humanity, but they imposed new limits on human life. Laws and decrees were set in stone, shaping the destiny of future generations. Infertility, infant mortality, and the institution of celibate priestesses would serve as natural checks on the population. These hardships became woven into the fabric of human existence, reminders of the gods' power and the price of survival. The world after the flood was harsher, the land less forgiving. Life became more fragile, and every birth, every harvest, was tinged with uncertainty. The epic closes not with a grand victory, but with a fragile equilibrium. Humanity endures, but always at the mercy of fate and the will of the gods. Suffering and hardship became part of the divine order, shaping the destiny of every generation to come. Atrahasis had saved humanity from extinction, but the cost was a world forever changed, a world where struggle and resilience would define the human story. From that day forward, the gods' need for worship and humanity's struggle for survival became inseparable, each shaping the fate of the other. The story of Atrahasis reminds us why life is both precious and precarious, a gift to be cherished and a challenge to endure. The Atrahasis epic is a cornerstone of world mythology, shaping stories for millennia. Its flood narrative directly influenced the Epic of Gilgamesh and echoes in the biblical tale of Noah. The core plot, divine anger, a chosen survivor, a great boat, and a sacrifice, resonates across cultures. The reasons differ, but the structure is unmistakable. Atrahasis reveals a world where gods are powerful yet flawed, and humanity's existence is a delicate balance. Its themes, overpopulation, environmental limits, divine justice, remain relevant today. By studying Atrahasis, we uncover the roots of storytelling and our shared literary heritage. The tale endures, reminding us of our ancient quest for meaning. Thank you for joining me today on this sacred walk through time. Here in Harmony Hall, we gather in peace, grow in our beliefs, and let our spirits breathe, as we gently explore the many faiths and religions that shape our spiritual world. Join us next time, as we continue this journey of wonder, wisdom, and reflection, because here in Harmony Hall, all religions are welcomed and every voice is heard.